Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will see what is AI agent and how we can generate an AI agent using Azure AI Foundry. And trust me, it's going to be very easy. So first we'll see what is AI agents. This is nothing but a smart software service that combines generative AI models with contextual data, the ability to automate tasks based on the user input and environmental factors that they perceive. For example, a travel agent. What is the job of travel agent? So travel agent has job like booking transportation ticket, transport tickets, booking hotels. These kind of job a travel agent can have. So the agent can have either jobs he can perform in parallel way or sequential way based on use case. Again, it's there. For example, in the travel agent, probably book a transportation tickets and booking a hotels parallelly, not a sequential way, because you need to have some place where you are going to stay, so you need beforehand those tickets, hotel tickets. What are the components of the agents? The LLM, the generative model itself, the knowledge base. It's basically the supportive documents, support document, support docs. It can be either XLS format or CSV format, even text works, any binary file which makes sense, right? Having some data either in text format or image format, anything. Then the tool is just a piece of custom code or any even sandbox, nothing but it automatically executes the code. So AI agent will write a code in runtime and then execute that code into some sandbox. Some OS or server is required definitely to execute any code, right? Even with the custom code we have uh, Azure functions. In case of AWS, it's Lambda function. So those functions are there to write the custom code even. So both are, I think, all these three are very much clear. It's very easy to understand. Now let's jump into our use case. So we are going to draw a use case where we are asking the questions about the company's return policy. So be a company sells different laptops or devices, smartphones, then user might want to know if any issue happens, whether I can get my refund, or it might be what are the number of days, possible number of days when I can return a product, any return policy. User can ask any questions about that. So for example, one use case where user is asking, can I return my item? So in that case, the agent needs some date and time where when he user has purchased that product, and then based upon two things. First, it will go for the file search tool where it will see the ground base. So we will have some written policy for our company that will save as a ground truth, that is a knowledge base for us. Okay, now we have the once we agent knows that the return policy talks about 30 days, minimum 30 days it should be. Beyond 30 days we cannot return anything. So you need to calculate the 30 days or number of days it had that product with the user itself. So this environment is called code interpreter. So there are various tools in journal. So there are two types I would divide it. First is knowledge tools. Second is action tools. So knowledge tools we have like Bing search, Google search, any kind of search we can use. We can use file search. We can use Azure AI search even. But in action tools we have options like code interpreter. Then we have custom functions. We have Azure functions. Right. So here we are going to use code interpreter. Now let's talk about the important concept called grounding. So there is a instruction that is a system prompt itself, and there is a grounding prompt. There are two things here. So to make an agent smart, you need to have balance between these two things. What is grounding? The knowledge. This is the process providing the agent with a source of truth, use specific business data. Without grounding, an agent might guess or hallucinate. For example, in this case, if you ask about any written policy, you need to have the written policy document in place. That is a grounding data you have, the knowledge itself. So that provides a grounding. Now the instruction is just a simple prompt which you where you tell to agent that if you get any query from the user, look up for the knowledge base, then provide an action based upon if it is required any code interpreter to execute, then execute the code interpreter. That is the instruction itself. So combined we call it grounding instruction or grounding prompt. So it's simple, nothing but just having the knowledge base plus prompt. That combined we call it grounding prompt. In definition, we say grounding is the process of anchoring the model's response to a specific verifiable facts like your company's actual PDF or document. So this much is clear now. Let's talk about how we can create this particular agent. So for that, we will go into Azure console. First, we'll try to use a no code approach where we'll go to the Azure console and try to create this particular agent. So you see, this is our Azure console. So let's try to create Azure AI Foundry first. So we'll search AI Foundry, Microsoft Foundry. Look for the all resources. We don't have anyone. So we'll create one. Go to the overview and create a resource. Okay. Let's create a new resource group. So on any service or resource, basically it's a tool, your tool in general. I'm talking about Azure services. You need to have a service group where you are going to put it. So service group is like a parent. Under that we have a lot of resources can come up. This is one of the resource, Microsoft Foundry. So we'll name it Foundry hyphen RG resource group. Let's name it something. Call it with my name. Let's name it some agent Foundry. Let's have east used to because a lot of models are not there. Okay, so the name should be always be unique, which is not taken. So it should be always your company name. I'll use my name so that it won't affect it. Yeah, it's there. We can use it. The green mark tells us this is the default project name. I'll change it to company policy, written policy. Project name, it's a project name under which all the agents and models you are going to create. So all the things are with this project name itself. Click on next. We don't need to do anything over here. We just go in at the end and click on the review plus create. So it's first checking the validation whether it is feasible or not. Yeah, now we'll click on create button. So it's initializing the deployment. So it's resource creating the resource goes foundry rg-rgb named it. Just try to see visualize all those processes which is happening behind the scene as well. It's good to have such knowledge as well. Deployment is in progress. Now see what are the resources it is creating in to create this particular Azure AI Foundry. This is first created this Microsoft Cognitive Services status created. Okay, let's wait for two. So you see here it took around 2 minutes and the deployment is complete now. So we can go to the resources. Either we can search it by the name itself. We named it Akshay Tiwari. We'll type it and you see that Foundry is there. This is the Foundry name. Under that we have written called written company policy. Yeah, the resource group name is this one, and it's under Azure subscription one. In it's a free trial in your case. It can be, or it can be a different name. Then we can go to the Azure Foundry portal. Click on this or either this. Both are same. This is the interface of Azure Microsoft Azure Foundry. Okay, so this is the overview of all those different libraries. For example, you can use Microsoft Foundry, you can use Azure OpenAI to use OpenAI models like GPTs and all. Then you have Azure AI services, which helps us to like TTS, text to speech, and other kind of services, which is the part of Azure AI services itself. Now we'll try to deploy one model first. So we'll go into the model catalog and we'll select one model. So we already aware of that there are three components: the LLM, knowledge base, and the tool. LLM is the core component of the agent, so we should be choosing one LLM which is the core component of your agent. So let's select any model. I'll use GPT-4o. You can use anything. GPT-4o, this one, or mini. Let's use the mini, GPT-4o mini. Then go here, existing deployments, create a deployment. Okay, deployment name, let it be global standard, it's fine. Then we can customize it even, like how many tokens per minute rate limit you want to have. What is the what are the content filters you want to apply? For example, it's a guardrails or some kind of any not good content. We can remove that filter by defining b2, but the default is also having some rules. You can go through that later, but let's have this default b2. And this is the model version. This is the resource, connected AI resource. We created Akshay Tiwari, the resource. This is the Azure AI Foundry name, as you remember. We'll deploy it. Okay, so this is done. We got the API version, Azure endpoint, API key, subscription key, all those things. Here, all the details are there. You can get the key here. You can copy the key. All those created by rate limit. So yeah, it's very easy to create foundational LLM model, configure LLM foundational model. After that, we will see how we can create an agent. So in the left side, you see the build and under build and customize, we have the agents key, agents tab. So by default, it should create one agent because we have one foundational model, GPT-4 Mini. Probably it should be creating, yeah, success agent with this ID created successfully. Or either you can click on this new agent, which creates another agent. You can edit it, the name and all. But let's use this agent 89. So this is the agent ID. This is very important if you want to. So right now we are using no code approach. We are using Azure console and creating all those stuffs to create an agent, doing stuffs and to create an agent. But in order to run it through Python client or some client code base, it can be Node.js, Java, anything, Python. You need to have this agent ID and all, right? So for that, it's very important. The deployment, we have to select it what model we are going to use. So we already have one resource GPT-4 Omni, so we'll use this one. So instruction is the one where we are going to tell the agent what to do. The prompt I'm going to use. So it says you are a professional customer support agent. You help users understand if they can return their items based upon the company policy. You must use the provided knowledge base to answer questions. If user provides any purchase date, use your code interpreter tool. So try to understand this. We are saying to model that use code interpreter tool to calculate if they are still within the 30 days window or not, because the 30 days windows policy we are providing only. Okay, so we will have some written policy as well. This will add into the knowledge. We'll click on this add button, click on files, and I have one file ready with me. So I select that file, this written policy.txt. Okay, we'll upload and save. Okay, it might take some minute because the size of the file is very small, so it didn't take much time. It's created into the vector store in doing some chunking and all in the backend, and it is done. Now we'll add one action. That action is nothing but a code interpreter. Very simple. We'll add this code interpreter. So if the user is running a product within 30 days, it will calculate those difference from the date it purchased and the current date, and then ask do the decision accordingly. So the code interpreter helps us. We don't need to write anything. We just configure this code interpreter and click on the save button. It is also done. Now let's try in playground. The agent is ready. We are going to test it. What is restocking time period for laptop? Let's see. Yeah, so the restocking time period for laptops includes 15% restocking free fee for electronics. Additionally, customer have 30 days from the delivery date to initiate a return. So it's answered based upon the written policy we uploaded as a knowledge base. You want to see that knowledge file? Let me show you that knowledge file in front. You see, this is our written policy we uploaded. Very simple written policy we have. Let's talk about the customer have 30 days from the delivery date to initiate a return. Item must be original packaging and unused. Final safe sale items are non-returnable. Electronics have 15% restocking fee. So all of the details, basic details, we have this written policy. Now let's go back and try to ask some questions which try to execute our code interpreter instead of knowledge base. So this next query will help us. I purchased a laptop on 1st December and today is 28th of December. Can I return it back? Let's see. Okay, It's generating response. Yeah, it's looking for the code interpreter to answer it. Since you purchased your laptop on first and today is December 28, you are within 30-day return policy window. 27 days elapsed. Therefore, you can return the laptop as long as it is original packaging and unused. So you see the agent is quite intelligent here. It's it's calling the tools or referring knowledge base parallelly. So not parallelly, sequentially. So knowledge base is the first, then based upon that, it's executing our code interpreter. So this is all about agentic uh, configuration in Azure AI platform, and I hope it is easy for you. And thank you for watching this video. Subscribe my channel, and I will upload a next video where we'll talk about how we can create a custom agent using Python code, and then how we can execute through Python code client itself instead of this no code approach. Thank you.